Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again, and on today's episode, we have a story here titled Ex-Girlfriend Threatened a Restraining Order After I Caught Her Cheating. You know, these things are getting more and more ridiculous. You'll catch your wife or your girlfriend cheating, and she'll yell at you or, gaslight you, tell you how it's your fault. But a restraining order is a new one. Okay, am I surprised? No. But this is a new one. So let's jump into it. Ex-girlfriend threatened a restraining order after I caught her cheating. He says, we were supposed to be serious. I'm a 26-year-old male and my now ex-girlfriend who's 24. We had been together for almost 2 years. We moved in together last spring. I genuinely thought that we were building something real, he says. She always talked about future plans, traveling together, maybe even marriage someday. I wasn't perfect, but I was loyal, supportive, and fully in it with her. I thought that she was too. You know what's funny is like dudes will hear stuff like this, and they'll be like, wow, this woman could never cheat on me. Failing to realize that traveling together and getting married are things where the woman really benefits the most, right? Most dudes, right? There'll be dudes who will disagree, of course, right? Most dudes are not interested in traveling, right? That tends to be a woman thing so that they can post it on Instagram and look fantastic. Of course, there are dudes who are into travel, but the reason why women want to go traveling is usually so that they can flex it over their friends. When dudes like to go traveling, usually it's because they want to see other places and, take a look at different cultures, whatever. Then there's the marriage thing. A lot of guys will be like, oh, she wants to marry me. That means that this is serious. Failing to understand that marriage is something that benefits women and it's a significant risk to men. So of course, a lot of women want to get married. They might not want to do it when they're all throughout their 20s, hooking up with a bunch of different men, but they do want marriage nonetheless a lot of the times. He says things started feeling off around 3 months ago. She got distant, did the classic phone thing, hyper protective of the phone. We all know this. She was out late more often, saying that she was working late or hanging with the girls. And so he tried to play it cool, not be that paranoid boyfriend, but my gut was screaming at me that something was right. This is something that's also really funny that we see in a lot of modern day dating scenarios, guys, is that people will lie to men, right? And they'll try and tell men, hey, you don't want to be that insecure boyfriend, right? You don't want to be that controlling guy. Okay, you want to be progressive. You want to be trusting. You have to be that liberal boyfriend who's cool with everything. Real progressive thinking. You don't want to be that paranoid guy. Okay, that guy doesn't like women. He's dangerous. But here's the thing. If your girl is out there working late and hanging with the girls often, hiding her phone, that actually is very good cause to be paranoid. It really is. You're probably getting cheated on at this very point in time if your girlfriend or wife is doing these things. But society and women would love to sit here and say, don't be insecure, my man. You've just got to be trusting. It's ridiculous. It's a complete scam. One night, she fell asleep on the couch with her phone unlocked. I know it's not great to snoop, but something told me I had to. I checked her messages and found what I feared, conversations with another guy. Not just flirting, full-on emotional and physical cheating. She'd been seeing him for at least a month. I guarantee you it was for ages. She has probably cheated with multiple dudes throughout this relationship. They even joked about him, like I was some dumbass placeholder and it hit like a truck. I waited until she woke up and I showed her the messages. At first, she tried to lie, said he was just a friend. There's more of that gaslighting there. When I pressed harder, she exploded, called me controlling, and tried to spin it back on me. She said I was invading her privacy and that if I really loved her, I wouldn't go through her phone. No apology, no guilt, just deflection. So this is probably one of this dude's first experiences. Experiencing what taking no accountability looks like, right? And I mean the woman, not him. He has no accountability to take here whatsoever. But this sounds like it's his first time, and not understanding that cheating women specifically don't really like to take accountability. Okay, if you catch your girlfriend cheating or your wife, the odds of her taking accountability are really quite low. And usually when they do, it's not because they actually take accountability for the sake of taking accountability. Usually it's because they have no other options left whatsoever, and they still need your security and your provisioning. He says, that's when I realized the relationship wasn't what I thought. All those nights she came home exhausted or had wine with the girls, she was with him. Yep. The vacations we planned, lies. The future talk, and it was a distraction. It was like our entire relationship was a mask that she wore to keep things stable while she chased other options. That's exactly correct, by the way. This is what's known as a dual mating strategy, where women will get into a relationship or a marriage or whatever with the dude who's loyal, committed, who's stable, secure, whatever language you want to use, the nice man who's always going to be there for her. But meanwhile, she's not actually attracted to him, and she will chase other options while in that relationship. It's a very, very common thing. People will try and tell you that it's not common. It absolutely is. He says, I couldn't stay there. I packed my things and left the next day. I didn't want to be in the same space as someone who did this. He says, honestly, I was crushed. A few weeks later, he tried to talk to her. Not to get back together, hell no. I just wanted answers. Why? Why cheat instead of just breaking up? I messaged her, asked to meet in public. She ignored me. I called once, nothing. So I went by the apartment to talk. Just knocked like a normal person. And so when he got there, she saw it was him, went full psycho mode. She screamed at him to leave, threatened to call the police. He was stunned. I wasn't being aggressive or anything. I literally just wanted to talk. She said if I didn't stop harassing her, she'd file for a restraining order. How hilarious is that, by the way? Yeah, so this is the definition of taking no accountability. This is her trying to paint him like he's the terrible, evil, scary ex-boyfriend man, right? He's unsafe, he's controlling, he's a psycho. And usually this works, by the way. Like, a lot of people will just flat out believe women, no matter what evidence is provided, whether or not it's true. The women don't even have to prove anything as long as they have an emotional reaction. Everybody just loves to side with them. And so it's actually really quite a scary thing, guys. And this is why I don't believe people without evidence. I'm a believer in innocent until proven guilty. If you say that X person is terrible, I'm typically not going to believe you unless you have evidence, especially if I don't know you, which is something that a lot of women try and do, is they try and convince people, everyone around them, that the man's evil. So he said, I was shocked. I never threatened her. I didn't do anything. He's not some stalker. It's wild how fast someone can rewrite the story to make themselves the victim. Of course, the truth got muddy. Some of our friends believed her. Others knew better and reached out to support me, but the damage was done. My name was suddenly attached to restraining order and harassment when all I did was try to get closure from someone, who cheated on me. Social media blocked, phone blocked, email blocked. I didn't chase after that. Once I realized she was using the restraining order thing as a manipulation tool, I just stepped back. I'd already lost so much. I wasn't about to lose my dignity too. So he started therapy, did all of that stuff, etc. He says he never got the answers he wanted, but I realized closure doesn't always come from the other person. Okay, so here's the thing. So she never filed anything as well. So here's the thing. This guy wants closure, but let me just say this. There is no reason to look for closure. You're not going to find it. The fact of the matter is she did this because she wanted to. She did this because she was attracted to the other guy. And it's as simple as that. There's no grandiose reason, okay? There's no big master plan or anything. The woman is just a terrible person. That's the closure. You don't need to continue to try and talk to her or anything like that, especially given she's proven how much of a psycho she is. It's just a complete waste of your time. The best thing to do as a dude in these situations is always just to move on with your life and completely ignore these people. And when they inevitably come crying back and giving you phone calls and messaging you, you just continue to ignore their ass, because that's the right thing to do, in my opinion. Guys, we're going to be leaving it there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.